In today's video, we're diving into the world of sustainable housing, exploring 7 nations that are leading the way with innovative practices and policies. From Denmark's commitment to net zero living to Singapore's integration of vertical greenery, these countries are setting benchmarks for eco-friendly homes. However, it's not all positive. We'll also take a look at 3 nations where sustainable efforts are lagging behind. Join us as we examine both the triumphs and challenges in the global pursuit of sustainable living. 1. Denmark. Setting the pace in net zero living. Denmark has rapidly become a global leader in sustainable housing, with the government's Green Housing Strategy, 2023, aiming for all new buildings to be carbon neutral by 2030. In Copenhagen, more than 60% of new homes built in 2024 use timber frames and recycled materials, slashing embodied carbon emissions. The Danish Energy Agency reported in March 2025 that nearly 90% of residential energy consumption now comes from renewables, primarily wind and district heating. A standout project is the Circle House, completed in late 2024, where 90% of components are demountable and reusable, setting a new benchmark for circular construction. Denmark's strict building codes, updated in January 2025, mandate life-cycle carbon assessments for all housing permits. The Danish Mortgage Association noted a 17% increase in green mortgage lending in the past year, underscoring growing consumer demand. According to the World Green Building Council, Denmark's per capita carbon emissions from homes have dropped by 34% since 2015, the fastest in the EU. 2. Sweden. Prefabrication and passive house innovation. Sweden's housing sector is leading with scalable prefabricated, energy-efficient homes. The Swedish National Board of Housing, Building and Planning stated in April 2025 that over 50% of new builds now meet the rigorous passive house standard, ensuring minimal heating needs even during harsh winters. Companies like BoKlok, a collaboration between IKEA and Skanska, have delivered 15,000 modular, affordable green homes across Sweden since 2021, with 98% of these using FSC-certified timber. In Gothenburg, the HSB Living Lab, an experimental housing block, monitors energy and water use in real time, showing a 40% reduction in resource consumption compared to conventional apartments. Local authorities in Stockholm now require solar panels on all new residential roofs, contributing to a 37% year-on-year growth in urban solar installations reported in January 2025. The government's 2024 Sustainable Homes Support Grants have allocated over 2.8 billion Swedish kronor to retrofit older buildings with heat pumps and triple glazing. Sweden's approach is data-driven. The Swedish Energy Agency confirmed that residential CO2 emissions fell 12% in 2024 alone. 3. Germany. Ambitious retrofit programs and smart energy. Germany's Klimafreundlicher Neubau, climate-friendly new build policy, updated for 2025, offers generous subsidies for both new and retrofitted sustainable homes. The Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Climate Action reported in February 2025 that 72% of new housing units in Germany met the KfW 40 efficiency standard, meaning they use just 40% of the energy of conventional homes. The Sanierungsoffensiv retrofit program, funded with €18 billion through 2025, has upgraded nearly 1.2 million homes with insulation, triple-glazed windows, and smart HVAC systems since 2022. Berlin's pilot, Smart Neighborhoods, integrate households into local energy grids, with real-time data showing 30% lower demand peaks and a 25% rise in self-consumption of solar energy. The 2024 Energy Performance of Buildings Directive, now fully implemented, obliges all new homes to include EV charging points and smart meters. The German Tenants Association published figures in March 2025 showing that tenants in green-certified buildings pay up to 28% less in utility bills than those in standard housing. 4. Netherlands. Water-resilient and energy-positive neighborhoods. The Netherlands is reimagining sustainable homes by tackling climate resilience and energy generation together. Amsterdam's Schoonship floating community, completed in mid-2024, exemplifies this approach. 46 waterborne homes generate 120% of their energy needs via solar and heat exchange systems, feeding excess into the city grid. The Dutch government's Klimaatakkoord climate agreement mandates all homes be natural gas-free by 2050, with over 250,000 houses already converted to all-electric heating by February 2025. The city of Utrecht now requires rainwater harvesting and green roofs on all new construction, a policy credited by the Central Bureau of Statistics with reducing urban flooding incidents by 19% in 2024. The Circular Construction 2025 roadmap encourages building with recycled materials, resulting in 32% of new housing projects using reclaimed bricks or wood. The Dutch Homeowners Association reported in January 2025 that 64% of buyers now actively seek sustainability certifications, with BREEAM and EPC, Energy Performance Coefficient, ratings driving market value. 5. Norway. Wooden skyscrapers and zero-emission targets. Norway is pioneering tall timber construction, blending tradition with cutting-edge sustainability. The Mjøstarnet in Brumunddal, still the world's tallest wooden building at 18 stories, remains a symbol of Norway's commitment, and 3 more timber towers are scheduled for completion by late 2025. The Norwegian government's Enova program has invested 8.7 billion Norwegian kroner since 2022 in sustainable home technologies, including geothermal heating and smart home automation. The 2024 National Building Code revision requires all new homes to meet nearly zero energy standards, with at least 60% of energy coming from renewables. According to Statistics Norway, household greenhouse gas emissions dropped by 9% in 2024, the sharpest single-year decline on record. The Future Built initiative in Oslo supports over 50 net zero pilot projects, with real-time monitoring showing a 45% reduction in operational emissions. Norway's robust property market now offers green mortgages at rates 0.3% lower for certified sustainable homes, a trend confirmed by DNB Bank's March 2025 report. 6. Canada. Nationwide push for Green Building Code. Canada's 2024 update to its National Building Code for the first time mandates energy performance standards for all new homes, with provinces like British Columbia and Quebec setting even stricter requirements. The Canada Green Building Council reported in April 2025 that the number of LEED certified homes surpassed 55,000 nationwide, up 18% year-over-year. Toronto's Tower Renewal program has retrofitted over 200 aging high-rises with efficient HVAC systems and high-performance windows, reducing annual energy consumption by 35%. Vancouver now requires all new homes to be zero emissions by 2025, and city permits show a 47% increase in applications for passive house certification since January 2024. Indigenous-led projects such as the Whistle Bend neighborhood in Whitehorse integrate sustainable design with local cultural values, winning national awards for resilience and efficiency. The federal government allocated $2.6 billion Canadian dollars in 2025 for home energy retrofits, helping more than 150,000 households upgrade insulation and switch to heat pumps. 7. Singapore. Vertical greenery and smart urban homes. Singapore's dense urban fabric hasn't stopped it from achieving breakthroughs in sustainable housing. The Housing and Development Board, HDB, revealed in March 2025 that 95% of all public housing blocks now feature solar panels, collectively generating enough electricity for 80,000 households. The Green Towns program, launched in 2021 and expanded in 2024, has implemented smart lighting, waste recycling chutes, and rooftop gardens in over 400 estates, reducing energy use by 15% and water use by 12%. The Punggol Digital District project, with its integrated smart grid, showcases how real-time sensors can cut residential carbon emissions by 30% compared to traditional neighborhoods. Singapore's ambitious 80-80-80 goal, 80% of buildings green certified by 2030, 80% energy savings in new builds, and 80% reduction in waste, remains on track, according to the Building and Construction Authority's 2025 report. Developers like City Developments Limited are launching net zero energy condos, with waiting lists growing 22% in the past year. 8. United States. Patchwork progress amidst federal setbacks. While the U.S. lacks consistent federal mandates, several states and cities are making notable strides. California's 2025 building energy efficiency standards require all new homes to include solar panels and advanced insulation, and the California Energy Commission reported in March 2025 that over 90% of new builds now achieve net zero energy use. New York City's Local Law 97 inches imposes strict carbon caps on residential buildings over 25,000 square feet, with 2024 compliance data showing a 14% drop in emissions from large multifamily units. The Department of Energy's Better Buildings initiative supported upgrades in 80,000 low-income homes, delivering average energy bill savings of $450 per household. However, the National Association of Home Builders noted in April 2025 that only 16% of new homes nationwide meet green certification standards. Texas and Florida, two of the fastest-growing housing markets, still lack statewide energy codes, leading to significant regional disparities. Overall, U.S. per capita housing emissions fell just 3% in 2024, well behind most developed nations. 9. Australia. Green ambitions undermined by lax enforcement. And Australia's 2022 National Construction Code update introduced higher minimum energy standards for new homes, but enforcement remains uneven. The Australian Sustainable Built Environment Council highlighted in its February 2025 report that while 40% of new homes in Victoria and the ACT achieve 7-star NAT HERS ratings, compliance drops below 15% in Queensland and Western Australia, where enforcement is weaker. Major cities like Melbourne have seen a surge in green apartment towers. The Nightingale Village project reports 80% lower energy bills compared to conventional housing. Yet, the Property Council of Australia warned in March 2025 that less than 1 in 5 homes nationally has effective insulation, a major gap as extreme heat becomes more common. The federal government's Home Energy Upgrades Fund met less than half its 2024 target, assisting only 34,000 households out of 100,000 planned. The Green Building Council of Australia confirmed that residential sector emissions fell just 2% in 2024, lagging far behind the country's climate goals. 10. Saudi Arabia. Luxury over sustainability in housing expansion. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan has driven a massive housing boom, with 1.2 million new homes approved since 2021, but sustainability has not been central. The Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs admitted in its 2024 annual report that less than 3% of new residential projects meet any green building criteria. Most developments, such as in Riyadh and Neom, focus on luxury amenities and rapid expansion rather than energy efficiency or resource conservation. The Saudi Green Building Forum noted that solar and water recycling systems are present in less than 5% of new homes. Air conditioning accounts for over 70% of household energy use, and the Electricity and Cogeneration Regulatory Authority reported a 9% rise in residential electricity consumption in 2024, the highest in the Gulf. While a handful of showcase projects claim net zero ambitions, the scale is negligible compared to the national total. Saudi Arabia's residential sector remains one of the world's highest per capita emitters, with no significant progress reported in 2025.